Thank you so much again for talking to me about the new, well, it's a mixed bill, isn't it? So I was just looking into this. So I'm actually going to watch the show tomorrow, which I'm very excited
Oh,
to see.
that's great. That's
And it's
great.
I'm really excited because when I was 16 years old, I used to study dance and we had to learn Revelations.
Congratulations, really?
Yeah, and I remember I had never seen a black dance company in my life at this point. And it was Wade in the Water, and I was blown away. I remember I was like, okay, and I didn't think I was into dance. I did performing arts, but dance was one of the things, and that was it. I knew that I would love dance.
Oh, that's beautiful. I know, I grew up around the Alvin Ailey organization. My mother was a teacher here,
Oh
and she was
wow.
the director of the school for 26 years.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So I really grew up, but they call me an Ailey baby. So I grew up, I was in my mom's bassinet when she was dancing and teaching, and I've seen so many dancers pass through this incredible home that we have here. And I was the same, I had grown up, or I went to school in predominantly white uh, institutions. And so to have this home and have this Black representation be so strong and empowering for so many of us has been just an absolute gift. So I understand that the impact it had on you.
Massive
Mhm.
impact. And also I love the music because like I've grown up in a Christian household, and it really brought me back to that kind of just like church. It just gave me so much. Yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful.
That's right. And there's something about, I've been thinking about that, and analyzing Revelations because we perform it a lot and we rehearse it a lot. And just those spirituals to hear those voices and those chants and those affirmations and, are really, and the vibrations in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
voices, just drink them in is just, it's magical.
100%. So
Hmm.
I know, so I've heard that Revelations will always be performed
Yes.
when you watch. Okay, good. So I
Yes.
will not be missing out
No,
on
you will
that.
not be missing out. Yeah, it's one of our signature works, and it's really the main work that a lot of the dancers dream about, in joining the company. I mean, it's something like you that impacted them greatly, and it's the perfect blend of grace and spiritual elation, for us. I love
Yeah.
one of Alvin's quotes that just talks about how, breaking it down, it's sometimes sorrowful, sometimes jubilant, but always hopeful, which is
Mm.
mhm.
That's very true. Yeah, I love that piece. Could you tell us, because I know there'll be lots of people that may not know anything about the dance company or this mixed bill. Would you be able to summarize what we could expect?
Yes, absolutely. We have four pieces on the program. We have Revelations, of course, which was made in 1960 and is just, like I said, it's his signature masterpiece and really pays homage and reflects the cultural heritage of the African American community. And I think we also have a piece by artistic director Robert Battle entitled The Hunt, which is an amazing work. It's very physical and it will leave, the audience on the edge of their seat. It's an athletic work and it really reveals the predatory side of human nature and the primitive thrill of the hunt. um yeah, and it really has this thundering percussion score by Tambour de Bronx, and which is just exciting, and it runs the gamut from modern sports to the rituals of gladiators. And one special thing about Ailey too is we are the first company, Ailey, to perform it with an all male female cast in the Ailey organization. So it's been performed by men. Robert Battle made it for an all male cast, but we perform it with women as well. That was one of the things I asked when I became director of the company, if he would consider doing that, and he said yes. So we're trailblazing
Um,
that, which is great. We have Freedom Series, which is a piece that I choreographed, and it
oh,
was Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Yeah. A Freedom Series, I created it my inaugural year. And for me, it travels through a landscape of memories, creating vignettes that I was also influenced by Afrofuturism. So it's this idea where memory strives to influence the future. And it's depicted through a futuristic lens. And it was the first piece. I also work with a system called creative collaboration, which is also developed in collaboration with the dancers. So some of the choreography is also like offerings that they gave, choreographic offerings, and really how I was inspired by the particular people that I choreographed on. And the work examines identity and community. And it has a score that features a blend of acoustic and electronic music, which is exciting. And so it has all these unexpected twists and turns that bridge tender moments to like these moments of real ferocity and attack. And the fourth piece that we're going to be performing is entitled Enemy in the Figure. And it is this incredible, another one, very high energy and propulsive section of this work. It was created in 1989 in Germany, and it is really inspired by this percussive and rhythmically driving electronic score that really serves as the work's choreographic invention. And this influence of the radical use of light and shadow in the lighting, but also in the metaphors that the dancers are really kind of fighting the shadows outside of themselves and the ones that live within them emotionally. And you can really see that push and pull in that work. And so it's another one that I think the audience will really be excited and invigorated by.
Wow. Do you know what? I'm excited because so many different kind of like pieces. So you'll find one that really will touch you completely. There's not one that you would not love, to be honest, which is very excited about this. I was going to ask you actually, because I noticed that you're touring to, so it's the UK as well as I saw Italy, I saw Israel as well. And I just wanted to know what made you want to take Ailey to the UK.
Oh my goodness. Well, we've been working with the consortium for years now, and it's a really wonderful relationship that we have with them. And of course, we have a group of 18 large scale theaters with also very much a mission that is in alignment with us. And we're I think for me, it's these young people, this is their first professional experience. So for them, it's really giving them this opportunity to travel outside of the state. Some of them have never been outside of the United States. But they're very much excited to kind of share the work that we're doing and all of our outreach that we're doing. They're going to be teaching and sharing, like you. They're going to be teaching Revelations and some of that work. So it's really wonderful to take our mission and expand it to kind of out into this international platform.
That's such a huge thing because it will inspire so many people, like how I was inspired. When you see people that look like you, it just changes your whole kind of like way you think about things. And I think that's a great thing. And actually it leads to my next question, which was what you envision Ailey 2's impact on the UK dance scene and also what you hope the audience will take away from watching the performance.
Well, Alvin talked about wanting to hold up a mirror to the audience so that they could see how beautiful they were.
That's nice. That's nice.
Isn't that lovely that Alvin's mission really has that, that idea of wanting to celebrate humanity and human beings and the beauty of vulnerability and the human experience that goes from, I guess, our most vulnerable and painful moments to our jubilant moments, and that for me is really something that I think, like you, when you were younger, saw. It's not necessarily something that we as minorities can always express ourselves fully. And I think to have that representation is really something that I think people will appreciate, and especially kind of underserved and underrepresented communities, which we're really going to be partnering with. Will really kind of bring that empowerment and inspiration and to them. So that's what we're really looking forward to sharing.
It's so nice. I like that a lot. And I was going to ask you, because obviously dance is such a powerful form of telling stories, and it can be told in so many kind of like unique ways. Are there any up and coming projects or productions other than the mixed bill that that you guys are working on to explore kind of like, I guess, important social or cultural narratives that you would like to highlight?
Well, I think that we definitely are, one of the things for us that really lives at the mission of the Ailey Works is centering the African American culture. So there is, as Alvin began with, I think he realized we talk about the stage being a social platform for change. And so we recognize that that lives in the fabric of our halls and our building and all of that. So I think that, that is that we spread that gospel and we share that. I mean, we definitely were born in the late 50s. He started in 58, the company in the early 60s. So there was definitely part of the movement, the civil rights movement that was happening then. And it's really an honor to kind of still be connected to those principles and his ethics that really drove him as an artist. So I think that we are definitely, inspired by the civil rights movement and social justice. And that is definitely at the foundation of the work that we're doing.
And you know what, just the fact that you guys are inspired by the civil rights movement, it just is it's such a strong backbone to have, or foundation to have, because
Absolutely.
it really did I mean, even in the UK, we are so fully inspired by it, because the I always believe that the experience is slightly different, but the injusticeness is still unfortunately the same.
Yeah,
In the sense
I
that
know
it's so difficult.
that. Yeah. We need to be reminded, and that's why it's so important that we have, like the Alvin Ailey and the mission, and we recognize that, and it's really an honor. Just all these years later, I started as a child to just keep this cyclical legacy going.
I mean, I honestly find it. When I was reading everything about you, I was like, oh my goodness, you have done so much awesome
I,
things. Like, I was like, whoa, I couldn't,
oh,
I was so blown away. I was like, okay, I need to just take a moment to just come with some good questions, because I was like so amazed by everything that you've done. So it's so amazing to see. It's almost like a full circle, because your mum was a teacher and a choreographer there, and now you are the artistic director for Ailey too. It's like a huge full circle. It's like you always meant to be. Always, I'm a believer of what's meant for you will come around to you.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think it really is very deep, just in terms of Alvin's mission is very much embedded in teaching and
Mm.
sharing that, teaching others and nurturing and supporting others. Like it is a very supportive environment here. That's something that even when I was a ballet dancer for many years and danced with the Dance Theatre of Harlem and the Frankfurt Ballet in Europe. I lived in Germany for about 8 years,
Oh,
but I
wow.
always kept coming back to Ailey. It really, because that
Mm.
inclusivity and that invitation and that warmth and that nurturing that I received here is like, for me, like no other institution.
Mm. I can imagine. It must be one day when I come back to New York, I'm going to visit, because I
Yes,
can imagine it.
please. I'll be happy to host you and walk you
Oh,
around.
I would love that. I would love
Yeah.
to see everything like just in its full glory. I was going to ask you, because obviously when people think of dance, sometimes they think of like what you see on TV and how everything is back, like how dancers are backstage. It's all kind of like this show. I don't know even know what the right words are, but I guess I kind of think of like lots of these kind of movies. And I was going to ask you, just in general, has there been any kind of, or what kind of what is it like? Do you know as a day to day? I guess you would know as a dancer yourself, working at Ailey, but also has there ever been any kind of fun moments that have stood out to you at any point working for Ailey, Alvin Ailey too?
Funny moments, fun moments. I
Yeah.
think the celebratory aspect of the work that we do at Ailey. I mean, it is like our receptions, and it really feels like we understand the joy behind the mission.
Mm.
So that for me is like, it just feels like we have a lot of celebrations. Which is
Definitely.
fun for me, I mean, even to come back, it's like, it's really the social aspect to what we do is really a beautiful thing. I just went out to get my lunch and ran into 3 or 4 people, and people I've known since I was a little girl, or I've worked with in other institutions, and so I guess the social aspect is really a fun one. For us. My mother was really fun and funny. She had this zany sense of humor. So I also have these associations of, like, being with her in the Ailey building, and just, again, the joy, the joy
Mm.
that really lives in the building, and that, Alvin also nurtured, the positivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say those are the fun. I mean, it's a very, there's, the work is really intense and serious work. So it's, when you talk about fun, I think it's more of a celebratory. It's
Yeah.
less, there are fun moments, but it's very deep, kind of. Modern dance is a deep expression, and so I think that fun, and there are fun pieces. We have fun choreography, yes. you
I
know
got I can
yeah,
I can only imagine it would be also it's that sense of you guys are all one big, it's like a sense of community as well.
yeah,
It's like one big family, is how
it
I
really
imagine,
it really is, yeah, and we try to keep it that way.
which I think is so important. I was gonna ask you, because
Mhm.
the dance world constantly is evolving. Um, is there any emerging trends or styles that you see shaping the future of contemporary dance? And also how might Ailey to incorporate them into their performances in the future?
Absolutely. I mean, well, Ailey 2 is very much, Alvin started Ailey 2 as the experimental company. So we
Right.
are very much, with Ailey 2, we are a legacy company. I like to call it a legacy shaping the future. So we do our Alvin Ailey, our signature works, but we also have, like, the cutting edge emerging artists. And for myself, and, I was given the opportunity to choreograph by Sylvia Waters, who was the director before me.
Mm.
And she I was a young budding choreographer, and if I hadn't had those opportunities, that was Ailey too. It's also, we have some young emerging choreographers that people really haven't heard of, who will have this opportunity to kind of showcase their voices and their work. So, that's one special thing that Ailey offers, are like these new languages that you may not have seen before. We definitely, I also brought in, I danced in the Frankfurt Ballet under William Forsythe, which is the piece, The Enemy and the Figure, that one of his works that I brought in, which is really very much a contemporary language. He was one of the trailblazers of contemporary ballet. So that's one of the things, is we're bringing in some new contemporary work. Even some of our legacy choreographers are contemporary choreographers, as opposed to kind of um, traditional modern choreographers. So, we span the gamut, and we have this
Yeah.
spectrum of choreographers, from new voices to legacy contemporary work, to traditional modern, to, even contemporary ballet works. So it's very exciting.
But extremely exciting because there's so much you guys cover, and I just feel like you guys move with the times and move with everything that's going on as well, which is, it means you appeal to everybody of all ages, of all walks
Yeah.
of life, which I think is important.
Mhm.
This is actually a question for you, because you, as I was saying before, when I was doing my research on you, I was blown away by everything you do. You're a choreographer, you're a singer, a producer, a writer. You even were a professor at Juilliard. And I only know about Juilliard. Well, I know about Juilliard, but when I was a kid, I was so fascinated by Juilliard after watching, say, The Last Dance.
Yes, yes, right, of course. Yeah.
You're a director. You do so many amazing things. And I was going to ask you what has been your favorite hat or role, should I say? And also, if you have any personal tips on, especially for us Black women, that are trying to break into the creative industry, which can be a very difficult industry to break into, if you had a tip for us.
Oh, let's see. I would say just stick with it. I mean, that was one thing, even in the hardest moments, and there's rejection, there are always moments that you feel like you haven't succeeded or gotten a certain role. I mean, the stick-to-itiveness that I've had and the commitment has just served me all these years. And so that's one thing I would say, just don't ever give up. Yeah, you can do hard things. So tell yourself that you can and find the courage within.
That's beautiful. No, I agree. Thank you so much. I now have some very quick fire questions for you, if that's okay.
Yes.
So it really is the first thing that comes to the top of your mind.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
No pressure. So the first one is your favorite theatre or dance space.
Oh my goodness. How could you ask me that? I mean, there's so many. Of course, speaking with you, I'm like Covent Garden. I mean, that's of course, that's one of the things that comes to mind. The Apollo Theater here in New York is an amazing, amazing venue. I love some of the downtown spaces, Judson Church in New York City, where they had some experimental kind of improvisatory, experimental languages. And I love the Lincoln Center is right here in the middle of New York, which is really amazing with the Met and the State Theater and all of that. And where else? I love the Châtelet Theater in Paris. That was
Oh,
one place we performed quite often with the Frankfurt Ballet. And yeah, so many. I love alternative spaces too. I've kind of presented dance in museum spaces, the Met and the Park Avenue Armory here in New York. And there's really beautiful alternative spaces that you can reconfigure to be, kind of theatrical spaces. Chelsea Factory is another one that comes to mind here in New York City. And I've seen installations there as well as proscenium driven work. So yeah, trying to think of what else.
I mean, now
Yeah,
you're telling me these. I think I definitely have to book a trip to New York because
yeah,
the top ones are in New York. I'm like,
a lot of creative spaces, a lot of them. Yeah.
you're selling me the New York dream again.
Oh, good. Well, come
I
on.
definitely will.
Get to the UK. It's so funny because I really have. We went and performed at Covent Garden. I think I was there twice. Once with Dance Theater of Harlem when I danced with them, and then again when I was with the Frankfurt Ballet. So I remember I saw Vanessa Redgrave in The Seagull
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yes, and at Covent Garden. I just have so many wonderful memories. The theater that they have in the UK and England is just amazing. And I've been a long time fan of the Royal Ballet, and we're so lucky to be in the arts.
Yeah, the arts is really cool. I think the arts is really cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is a tough one, but your favorite
Oh Lord.
theatre or dance show that you've seen?
You know what came to me really quickly? The
Hmm.
Color Purple. I was in the
Oh,
original musical, The Color Purple,
oh my
and
goodness.
so wonderful. It was really one of the most transformative experiences of my life. Another kind of production that's just transformed you know, uh and empowered us as
Mm,
African
mm,
American people.
mm,
So I think those pieces, those works are just,
mm.
yeah, remarkable. That's the first one that comes to mind.
No,
Uh,
that's a
of
fantastic
course,
one.
Revelations and Ailey.
Yeah, yeah.
Growing up at City Center, so this is we go to some of my favorite venues and experiences too. I just grew up watching Revelations every year, and our season at the City Center is a phenomenal event every year. It's like for a month that they're in residence there. And yeah, so I think that for me is also one of my favorite experiences, just being able to go there and experience Ailey for a full month and get to see different
Yeah.
programs and see this kind of wide spectrum and array of offerings as well.
Wow. No, that's a month. That's amazing. M-
Mhm.
My next one, this is one that some people find difficult. So it's your dream guest. So someone you would love to see at the mixed bill in the UK, and they can be dead or alive.
Well, you're gonna, well, I would say like Vanessa Redgrave and Alvin Ailey.
Nice. Those are good ones.
Those are the first two that come to mind since you and I are talking.
Yeah,
You know,
no, that's
see what they would say and talk about with each other as artists. I think it would be so interesting.
definitely no, that's a really good answer. Really good answer.
Thank you.
Um, so your proudest career moment to date?
Oh, this job. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I mean, I just feel so fortunate that I was appointed, and it means so much to pay all of this wonderful experience and wisdom forward. And yeah, I mean, this is it. This is the ultimate. I feel so fortunate to have gotten to this point, and I feel, it's really remarkable. I go back and harken back to the commitment that we just talked about, and how you know how important it is to stay with something,
Mm,
and I think because I'm passionate about it and I love dance, I feel it's such a gift to be able to do this every day.
yeah.
And yeah, so I think that is an absolute, this is the ultimate
Where
job.
you're meant to be. And I love that. Like I honestly, when I was reading everything about you, I was like, yeah, she's in the right place because she's done a three. It's like a round trip, and I always
Yeah,
believe if you do a 360 round trip,
yeah.
you're you're in the right place
Thank
for
you.
sure.
And I think it's a good position for me to be in, because this is a 2-year company. And after this, they have to either go on to another job. So it's like also being able to expose them not only to be dancers, but to be teachers. And like I was, as an educator, and to be going to musical theater. Do you have a vocal coach,
Mm,
an agent to audition and all of that. So I think that yeah, I think that I think I've acquired these skills, and it's great to be able to pass them on to the next generation of dance.
no, I agree. I think it's a fantastic thing, like that you have like these dancers that, like you said, it's the first time for a lot of them that they're leaving America. They're able to tour to places that are so far from home, but they have the
Yeah.
opportunity after the 2 years to kind of like really learn you that they'll learn so much in those 2 years. I think it's
Mhm.
brilliant. I really
Yeah.
do. I think you're doing great stuff, Francesca. I really do.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank
No,
you for
thank
taking
you.
the time. I'm so excited
Oh,
that we're coming away.
I know, me too. I'm super excited. Yeah, I can't wait till tomorrow. I really
Yeah.
can't. No, thank